confounded things up. So a lot of us cut the confounded, a lot of us were playing a lot, cut them off. And then the inside there was lining, and so I cut the lining out of it also, just to so the weight of the sweater. But anyway, it's been obviously washed a couple of times, and it's shrunk a few times, but who would pay 1.27 million for it? Is that ridiculous or what? It really was. No. But anyway, it was a great time. A couple of things I could just probably tell you about Russia, maybe. Back in '72, like they were an unknown commodity, but communism doesn't work, and it was so oppressive, it was unbelievable. For instance, there's not much over there except museums. They're big on museums and that kind of stuff. And so there would be 600 people in line. We would come up with our bus, you know, a hockey team, and the Red Army were there with their rifles, and they would walk up to the front of the line, stick a rifle in front of these people, push them back, and then we would, and we were embarrassed. I mean, we didn't hardly. You know, how can you do that to your people? Are you kidding me? Just not. And so we would walk in. The people who are in the museum, they'd kick them out, and then we would have access to it. And it was just, I mean, what a terrible, terrible society it was. And unfortunately, we hated the players because they were Russian. We shouldn't have hated the players. We should have just hated the system. And so there was a lot of animosity toward it. But they turned out to be just such great hockey players that made for a wonderful series. But I could yap and yap and yap. Anybody get questions? Any questions? Yeah, question.
Yeah, that last minute little group thing that Esposito took on the ice, like the huddle.
Yep.
Do you have any idea what he said to the players?
No, and I asked him about it. Like they don't even. I said, well, you know, and a lot of us after when we saw it, and Phil says, I don't even know why we did it. And so it was not like it was anything stranded or anything like that.
I had often wondered that he was informed of what the Russians come over and said, we win if we tie. And
no, we'd known that. That came back to the bench. They had told us we knew with about 6 or 7 minutes left in the game that they had scored a couple more goals than we had at this point.
That brings to life an old expression, do not insult the alligators until after you've crossed the river.
Well, there you go. There you go.